was basically talking about hope in my last video, and like that I have a lot of hope and faith like for my future. And somebody commented, first of all, they gave me a compliment, and it was really nice and really inspiring, I guess. It wasn't nothing big, it was like a small compliment, but I'm so grateful for it still. But anyways, I wanted to talk about hope for a little bit, and then I want to talk about something else. So that person's comment, they basically said when you're your most authentic self, then life in a way will like reward you. How do I know when I'm being my most authentic self, if that makes sense? Because I do feel kind of lost, because everyone I've ever been friends with were like mean to me. It's like, how do I know when I'm being authentic? How do I know when I'm being like my true self, in a sense? What if there's no like, what if the reward is not something physical, or like, I forget the word. You know, there's those people in life who do stuff just for the outcome of it. So like, it's like, oh, well, I'm gonna be kind because I know that I'm gonna get kindness in return. But I've never thought of it like that. Like, I've never thought of, I'm gonna be nice to this person because that means they're gonna be nice to me. Like, I've never thought of it like that. Like, sure, I may have thought of other things that way. Like, oh, if this person can depend on me, maybe I can depend on them for like a small thing. But I've learned the hard way that that's not how it works, you know what I mean? I've kind of just accepted the fact that if I'm gonna be nice to someone, if I'm gonna be their friend, if I'm gonna be in their life, if I'm going to help them, it's simply just because that's who I choose to be as a person. I don't think that life is about being angry and mad at the world and, you know, stuff like that, no matter what, because I've been treated badly and I've been treated unfairly by so many people, whether I knew them and we were super close, or whether they were strangers. People are not nice. Let's say that I was the kind of person who was like, no, they were mean to me, so I'm just gonna hate the world and be mad at everyone. There's people like that, and like, I just don't think that was me. I used to be really mean. When I was like in middle school and high school, I was really mean for a little bit. And I think that I realized that that's not who I am. Maybe that's how you know when you're being authentic. So like, going back to the comment, they were talking about how like, if you have the wrong people in your life or the wrong career, then you're gonna like feel bad about yourself and you're not gonna progress. I couldn't agree with that more. Like, it's so reassuring to hear it coming from someone else. I thought maybe it was just my way of thinking. I thought, maybe it's just the optimism, or maybe it's just the positivity in my brain. And my experience in life as well, that has happened to me. Like, I've surrounded myself with people who I thought were my people, and maybe they were at a specific time, but as we grew apart. I was someone who thought that everyone I meet was supposed to stay in my life forever, and that's just not how it goes. And I had to learn that when you have those people in your life who you think are good for you, but then you look back and you're like, they made me feel not good about myself, or they made me feel self-conscious in this moment, and then you try to talk to them and they get mad at you and they're like, oh, it was just a joke. Girl, Like, no, it wasn't. Maybe it's a bad thing, maybe it's not, but I take things so personally. Like, I'm such a sensitive person, and I've always been. And so when I found the people who would like make jokes that made me feel bad, and I'd bring it up to them like, ow, that kind of hurt my feelings, and then they'd be like, oh, well, I was joking, like, get over it. Like, no, like, it made me so sad and like self-conscious. At the end of the day, I was like feeling bad about myself and thinking like, yeah, maybe they're right. Why am I so sensitive? Why this? Why that? And that's not what I needed in that point in time. Like, those were my feelings, and that's how I felt in the moment, and I didn't need someone to invalidate my feelings. When those people were taken out of my life, I was not introduced, but just brought closer to another group of people, and it was the happiest I'd ever been, like, in my whole life. It was so crazy too, because these people respected me, and the other people who I considered friends, they didn't respect me. So I'm laying here editing this video, and I realized that I didn't get to say the main point that I was saying. What I was basically trying to say is that I agree with the comment that when you have people in your life who are not your friends, or who treat you unfairly, or etc., you're not gonna progress in life, and that you're gonna be like held back because you're gonna feel bad about yourself. That was basically the point I was getting at. And then I started reading my journal and I got distracted, and that's the next part of the video, I guess. Don't mistake delays for failure, people. Oh my god. I did this so much growing up. Mistaking delays for failure. Oh, something was delayed. Oh, it must have meant I failed. No, I gave up before the best things ever happened in my life, and I can't believe that. So, I don't know where that came from or why I even said that. I forgot what I was actually talking about. But don't mistake delays for failure. When I do figure out my life, I know that I'm going to be so happy, and that I'm going to love life, because I've been mistreated by so many people in my life, and I'm such an empath. I have a lot of empathy for a lot of people, which makes it even worse, because it's a strength, but it's also a weakness. People feel understood by me, and I'm able to help them out, but I get hurt a lot. Like, a lot. And I'm always coming from a good place, and I'm always getting hurt. So I kind of have been trying to work on boundaries, but that's not the video today. The video is that when you find yourself, when you find your true authentic self, what is the reward that life gives you per se? Is it just the fact that you are now authentic and you are happy? Or what if someone's like, what if their authentic self is not happy? Well, then that wouldn't make sense, right? Because I've never heard of someone just being mad just because that's the way they are. Like, I feel like anger comes from like trauma and guilt and trauma. So you can't just be born angry, right? Like, there has to be a reason. Or am I being delusional? All I know is that I've never met a person who deep down was just an angry person just because that's the way they are. Usually, people who are angry were people who were sad, who were people who were happy, if that makes sense. I really do hope that there's no such thing as a person who is just angry just because they are made that way. I don't think that there is, but anyways, I kind of lost track of what I was talking about. Hopefully, throughout whatever journey and like self-improvement kind of thing I'm going through right now, hopefully I'll be able to have like a lot of supporters and people who I can support on the way. But I don't know why I made this video. I don't know why I'm like even making videos at all. Maybe hopefully to one day look back and be like, wow, I was so young and so stupid. I'm just kidding. But hopefully one day I can look back at these videos and be like, wow, like I've changed a lot. Hopefully one day I can be looking back from like, I'll be like sitting in my mansion with my, well, I just want a mansion, I guess. Maybe I'll just be sitting in my mansion with my cat, looking at little me, my little hoodie, my little apartment, my little TV. And I'll be looking and watching these videos when I'm in my mansion, lonely in my mansion with my cat. I don't know. I know I'm meant for a bigger life. Does anybody feel like that? Like you're meant for something big, but you don't know what it is? Because I feel like that sometimes. I feel like that a lot of the times, actually. And it's mostly when I go to work. I just want to cry. Maybe it's my job that I don't like. Maybe it's being alone that I don't like. I don't know. Maybe it's just the pure fact that I don't get paid for existing yet. And I'm supposed to get paid for existing. But who knows? Maybe one day. But today's not the day. For now, I'll just sleep in my little hoodie, my little apartment with my little TV on my little bed. Well, actually, it's not a little bed. I have a king size bed, so like I love having a big bed, like especially with a lot of blankets too. Oh my god. Okay, this is off topic, but one of my favorite things ever to do is to have a lot of blankets in my bed and make the apartment super cold, and then it's so embarrassing, and then get under all my little blankets and be all warm, and it's the most comfortable feeling in the world for me, and I don't know why. So yeah, I don't know. If you want me to respond to a comment in a video, just like comment something, and who knows, maybe I'll talk to you, maybe I'll talk about you in my next video. But for now, I think I'm just gonna go to bed. Is that a bug? Sometimes I think there's a bug on like something, whether it's like the wall or my phone, and like literally it's just anything, and because I don't have my glasses on I can't see. But it's not moving, so I don't think it's a bug. But if it does start moving,